Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Go Again Blind, and this is gonna be another Final Fantasy X deck tech, and this time it's gonna be the Earth Lightning Guardians. Now, why Guardians? Well, there's 2 Lulus and 3 Kamaris, and they are Guardians. It doesn't have much more to do with that. There's no such synergy between Guardians, but there is synergy in summoners and summons, and this is another one of those decks that has summons. Summoners are not like, I think the last series was Final Fantasy 13, and summoners were not a thing, but each of the cast, the cast's main members had its own summon. It was like its own Lassie mark, right? So the summon basically bonds with the Lassie. It's like their mark of mastery. It shows up, and now you just are one. Once you've beaten it, it becomes your summon, and it's pretty cool. In this case, though, we have Ixion, just Ixion as a summon in Lightning. We have just Yojimbo as a summon in Earth. And the same thing happened before. We had Ifrit and Bahamut in Fire, and there's gonna be a Water summon, but there's no there's like 2 Valafors, and what else? Well, I think I've named every element at this point. The point is not that there's not many, but that there's summons in every element, but there are not summoners in every element, and each of the cast's main members does not have an adhering summon. The summons in this deck or in this category are all used by summoners. That's the mechanic of the Final Fantasy X game, okay? And its franchise, actually, because X-1 and X-2, they have their summoners. You know, Vraska is gonna be the fire one. You have Yuna being water and wind, and you have the Yunalesca is water and ice, and you have Seymour on lightning, and there is no elemental that's summoner that's of the earth element, and it's weird. I find it weird. So yeah, let's see what we do. Like, there's one for each deck, but there's very little ones. If you were to make a summoner deck of just one element, there's not enough. And anything that is fire, earth, or lightning is not supported by Yuna at all, because Yuna is in the wind and water colors. So there's 4 other decks that are not at all being supported, like at all, by the main summoner, which is Yuna, which has like 10 cards in 2 elements. The other 4 elements, no support at all. So it's interesting. It's weird, but hey, we can deal with it however we can, which is going to be having the Seymours in this deck for these 2 summons. 2 for 3, 3 for 2. Who knows? Who's to say? But yeah, that's the only route we can take for now, since there's very few summons. If there were more summons or summoners in every single element, maybe we could see it. Maybe we could have it done. Maybe Seymour can be water. Maybe there can be a Yuna that messes with Riku's abilities, and we could have many things like Kamari, Riku, and Yuna. That could be another deck. They could make a starter like that. That'd be pretty cool. And then you could have Tidus be more in red, and then have Yuna be red too. And then you can have like Vraska, Auron, Tidus, Jekt, and Yuna. That'd be pretty cool. Then again, we don't need Yuna because we have Vraska. We could just have more Vraska cards, which are in blue and in red. So maybe we don't need Vraska after all in wind. I didn't mean to say blue or red. I meant fire and water. But magic lingo always confuses me. Anyways, let's get even more confused by talking about the rest of the deck and see how it works. We first of all got the Kamari, which is kind of the face of this deck. Not really, but yeah, let's make it. So it's gonna be Kamari, the Guardian. That's 3 of, just like Seymour. It's cost 4, and it's a forward that has a sacrifice ability, or it's a special ability. But the way it works is you are going to discard a Kimari and pay 2 earth, and then it says choose one forward opponent controls. Kimari gains its special ability until the end of the turn. You can use this ability without paying any cost, but only once. Okay, that's pretty cool. So discard 1 Kimari and 2 earth, and then gain some special that could be really OP, which tends to be the case. That seems to be a very good effect. It's also an 8,000 for 4. I don't know if that means anything, but I find it okay. Then we have the other Kimari though. It's cost 2, and it's a backup this time, and it says Kimari gains elements of all the characters opponent controls except light and dark, which means Kimari can actually tap for lightning. That's also pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice. Which means there's actually 6 backups in this deck. And if we had another deck, we could actually put the Lulus onto that other deck, or the Seymours onto that other deck, but we don't. Therefore, this deck is going to be forced to keep 6 of those, making it a third of the deck into backups. Then we have a 5 cost Kimari, and it's a forward. It says space 0. Choose one forward you control other than Kimari. During this turn, the next damage dealt to it is dealt to Kimari instead. You can only use this once per turn though. Discard 1 earth card, and during this turn, the next damage that dealt to Kimari is reduced by 4,000. Okay. Okay. That's nice. Then we have another Ronso, because Kimari is a Ronso. We have Biren, and it's a forward saying if you control a card named Yenkei, or Yenkei? I think Yenkei. Biren gains 1,000 power and brave, and you can also pay 1 earth, and until the end of turn, Biren gains brave and cannot become dull by your opponent's summons or abilities. Some protection, that's pretty cool. It's also very flavorful. They're the chibi ones, right? Pictologica stuff and all. Then we have the Yankee. It's going to be a cost 2 backup this time, and you can tap it and sacrifice it. Choose 1 forward. It gains 1,000 power for each earth forward you control until the end of turn. Wow, so it buffs. That's pretty cool. What can I say? It's not that big of a deal, but it's nice. Then we have Gipal. Gipal? I think it's Gipal or Gipal. I'm not sure though. So yeah, cost 4 on top. It's an EX burst forward, and it says when he enters the battlefield, all the forwards you control gain 4,000. Nice. Power until the end of turn, so it's a nice big buff. The other Gipal, or Gipal, I don't know, says when forwards forming a party you control gain brave, and when a party you control attacks, all forwards in that party gain plus 5,000 until the end of turn. That's impressive. Then we have the Yojimbo, which is gonna be the Earth summon in this category. It's a cost 4 EX burst that says choose 1 forward you control and 1 forward an opponent controls. The former gains 1,000 power until the end of the turn. Then each forward deals damage equal to its power to the other. So they fight each other. If your Jimbo results from an EX burst, the former gains 3,000 instead. Then each forward fights. Okay, each of the forwards chosen. The 2 forwards fight basically. Let's move on to Lulu though. By the way, this deck has an extra card. I don't know which to take out. I could take out Yojimbo because it's the only fight card, but it's removal, and it's Seymour's only deck, which is a summoner, and he can't go in any other because there's no other lightning combination in these decks for now. So Yojimbo is a stay. And then what do I take out? Maybe the Riku. I could take out the Riku because the Jipals are okay. Maybe the Riku's the one that's extra. We could think about it that way. That could be it. Maybe the Riku. What did Riku do? Oh, we haven't read it. It says Earth backups you control can produce CP of any element. So your Earth backups, yeah, that definitely can get out of this deck because Kimahri already does that, and Yenkai is the only other Earth backup here. Yeah, Riku can definitely be gone. Let's actually take her away right now. Bye bye. And it also says when you cast a multi-element card, forward choose one Earth forward other than Riku in your break zone, add it to your hand. Its effect will trigger only once per turn. Okay, so does nothing because we have no multi-element cards in this deck. It's the only one that doesn't have kind of like a leader in Earth Lightning. But there's no other Earth or Lightning multicolor cards or multi-element cards that we can make into a leader for them. So it'll have to be like this. No other way around. Sorry. Yep. But yeah, that one's gone. Let's keep going though on the Earth side. It says, LeBlanc says, cost 4 forward with Brave, and you can tap it and you can sacrifice Ormi or Logos, and she cannot be broken this turn. Now, Ormi and Logos cost 3 and 2 respectively. The other way around. Logos is 3. Says that Ormi and LeBlanc gain 2,000, and Ormi says Logos and LeBlanc gain 2,000. Okay, so they buff each other and buff her, and they can be sacrificed so that she can be broken. That's pretty cool. They have some sort of like buff and protection, and that makes her into a 12,000 with protection for 4. Technically for 9 if you want to count it that way, but then it's also a 9,000 and a 7,000. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. I kind of like it. The LeBlanc, I kind of like her. That's good. Now let's go to the one I really like, Lulu. Oh my god, I won't tell you the reasons why. There's 2 main reasons. Cost 3 Lulu, backup Guardian, says lightning forwards you control gain plus 1,000 power. Yeah, there's only one in Seamer, so there's no reason for this card to be here. There really isn't. But it's the only deck that it can fit in, so she's not that good, even though she's great. Cost 5 Lulu. It's a backup Guardian again, but this time it says you can tap her, and you can sacrifice a backup, choose one forward, and deal it 5,000. That's good removal. And you don't have to sacrifice her. You can sacrifice another backup. So maybe you can sacrifice a Yenkai, you can sacrifice Kimahri, or one of the Seymours. We got plenty of backups in this deck, including that Lulu, which doesn't do anything. So we could sacrifice another Lulu. That'd be pretty cool. Tap her for CP and then sacrifice. That sounds nice. Finally, we have the Ixion, which is going to be a cost 4 summon, saying choose one forward. It loses 8,000 power until the end of turn. If the cost to cast Ixion was paid with CP of 3 or more different elements, all the forwards opponent controls also lose 2,000 until the end of turn. That 2,000 is not that big of a deal. It's not really. So it's gonna be that first part of the effect for now. Now let's look at the summoners for that Ixion and Yojimbo. It's gonna be firstly the Seymour, that's a forward, the only forward in Lightning we got, so Lulu is kind of pointless, the one next to him. And it's gonna say when Seymour enters the field, choose one forward an opponent controls. If you have 3 or more summons in your break zone, break it. Or tap it, remove 6 summons into your break zone. That's 6 right there. And Seymour deals your opponent 1 point of damage. If only we had more summons so that we could use that Seymour. That'd be really cool, but we can't. We can't because there's not enough summons in this game. I wish. There's so many cards. Actually, all the freaking monsters could be summons if they deemed it to be, but they don't. So what can I say? There's actually a few summons that they could come out with. They did a whole 3 runs for Final Fantasy 12 in terms of summons. So why not do another 1 more run an additional, aside from the one there is for 10, which is the Summoners game, which is, you know what I mean? Which is like the summoning is part of the lore. It's part of the mechanics that are trying to make it. Obviously, it's the category with the most summoners too, because I've only seen a summoner on Cat 4 and 5. What else? And yeah, the Yuna, Yunalesca, and Seymour. There's no summoners at all on 13. 12 has summoners, but it's only, I can't remember. No, it doesn't have summoners. And what else? I mean, there's nothing else. Honestly, there's nothing else. So like, why not make the summoner game have a lot of summons? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, let's keep going. Enough of a rant. Cost 2 backup, Seymour. With EX Burst, actually, it says when Seymour enters the field, you may search for one summon and put it onto the top of your deck. And you can also do the special ability, which is going to be discard a Seymour and pay 2 lightning. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a summon, you may cast it without paying the cost. Okay, so it's ideal to use those Seymours, both of those Seymour effects, back to back. Sounds good. Now you have a cost Seymour, not the EX Burst. It's still a backup though. It says when he enters the battlefield, choose one forward, cost 3 or less, and break it. That's pretty good removal, and that's the deck. I honestly like the Seymours. They're all pretty cool. I wish there were more lightning summons that Seymour could play with, and maybe some other colors Seymour could be in, so that we could have that multi-element situation of summoners dealing within the game, within the category. Because honestly, the problem with making summons is that all the summoners can have all the summons, and all the summoners can have all the summoners support. And so in this deck tech, we're trying to be more adhesive to the elements, but Tidal does not adhere to elements at all. It does not. So that's why we're doing a little bit of different things, but it's kind of hard considering the card pool limitations. There's really not many. So yeah, but yeah, we only took out the Riku. Doesn't have much of a home, so we're gonna have that outside out here. Okay, and I'll show you what doesn't have a home as well, so stay tuned. But there's actually 3 more decks left. I've already done 2. Watch those if you haven't, and stay tuned for the other 3, as well as the no home extra at the end, which encloses the whole series. So you're halfway done. They're not very long videos, but yeah, I want to talk about it a little bit, how I made the deck, where it's going, and I'm gonna make additions as sets go on. So stay tuned even after you finish the series, because there might be more on the way. There's a set every 2 to 3 months after all. So new cards make new decks. Hope you enjoyed though. Tell me which one of the Seymours is your favorite, and don't tell me on the comments the 2 reasons for Lulu being my favorite guardian. Don't tell me about the reasons, please. Just Seymour, okay? Just Seymour, please. Please don't get banned on the comments. Anyways, that's it. Comment about that. Seymour only, please. As well as which, you know what? Forget about that. Seymour or Luke. Don't look at her. Don't stop. But tell me which summons would you like, and if you would actually swap their element identity. Maybe we could rotate them, so Yojimbo could be in wind next time, and Ixion could be water, or it could be, like fire. Like which one we could maybe rotate them and have them be in different elements, and then maybe Bahamut could be wind, or it could be lightning, or it could be, I don't know, it could be many things, because they are like multicolor beings after all, right? They are like ethereal and out of this world, and they're all kind of like machine, kind of oily, because of the way that the game is. So that's pretty cool too. Battle 4 could be earth. Battle 4 could be fire. That could be pretty cool stuff to see. But yeah, let me know about that in the comments, as well as like, share, subscribe, and follow for more. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Don't look at her.